Hey, you all. Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from right outside of Pittsburgh and right at the end of the Halloween season. If you guys watch this video the day it comes out, it will be Halloween. Ooh. Of course, you could be watching this 6 years from now in the middle of July. I don't know. But if you're watching this the day it came out, it is Halloween. And I'm actually planning on doing a live stream tonight. If you guys are interested in joining me there. It's been a long Halloween season, and I wanted to connect with you guys. It feels like it's been so long since I've done a live stream. So, tonight, if you're watching this on Halloween 2023, I'm gonna be going live about 7 p.m. We're gonna be going trick-or-treating together. I'm gonna be strolling around, and I'm gonna take you guys with me. And we can do some reflection on this Halloween season. We can talk about what's going on in the future. But if you're interested in doing in joining my live stream, it'll be 7 o'clock, October 31st, 2023. And as I'm recording this, like I said, I'm actually just outside of Pittsburgh. I completed my final haunt of the 2023 season. Stopped out here at 100 Acre Manor, right outside of Pittsburgh. Had a great time tonight, but you know what? I'm ready to go home. I am ready to go home. As I'm recording this, it's about 9 o'clock at night, but I don't feel like getting a hotel room. I don't feel, it's about an 8-hour drive back to the house, back to my home in North Carolina. I am homesick for my home. I don't want to stay in a hotel tonight. I want to sleep in my bed. So I'm gonna drive my car, and I'm gonna try to make it home. That sounded way more ominous than I meant it to. I'm gonna drive. If I get tired, I will stop. But I am so ready to be home. It has been a long haunt season, and it's funny, I reflect on like the haunt season, and technically I think I started celebrating Halloween in July. The very end of July. I went to the grand opening of Spirit Halloween in New Jersey. Their flagship store opens at the end of July, and which I may make, that may be maybe a new tradition on this channel. I had a lot of fun going out there. So I had been in the Halloween mindset ever since July. You know, early in September, we did Halloween Horror Nights, both in Florida and in Hollywood, and we've just been doing all sorts of different haunts. And I try to cover haunts from every level of the haunt spectrum, from the theme park haunts. You know, you have the big, flashy, expensive Halloween Horror Nights. You have, you know, the large standalone haunts. You have the DIY haunts, and I like to cover them all along that, because I think they all have something to offer, something different to offer. And I feel like every single haunt I've been to this season has offered something unique. At no point did I go to a haunt and was like, I've seen all this before, I've seen this done, there's nothing new here. It hasn't happened. And I want to give a big thank you to all the haunt owners that have invited me out. You know, it's kind of a standard in the haunt industry, you know, no photos, no video in haunts. That's the tradition. And so I appreciate you know, haunt owners being open to letting me film in the haunts and letting me experience it. It's been great, and I appreciate them allowing me to do that, because, you know, they don't have to let me film, they don't have to let me come out. And I've met so many nice people. People have been so great, so accommodating, and it's been a lot of fun. But it's time to put spooky things behind us. But I'll never put the spooky things completely behind me, because I love spookiness. And you know, we'll do some fun things throughout the year that involve spookiness. But the Halloween Hollerin' event is finished. We had the summer carousels, we had Halloween hollering, and now we move on from there. But most importantly, we need to go home. I'm gonna try to drive back to North Carolina, and I'm gonna take you guys with me. See if we can make the 8-hour journey together. I won't record all 8 hours, but I will keep you guys with me as I travel south. I think we'll probably go through West Virginia, down through original Virginia, and then into Tennessee, and then North Carolina. Man, sounds really long. It's about 8 hours there, but I drive a lot. This may not surprise you guys. I am driving quite a bit, and I've become very accustomed to driving and very accustomed to where I drive long distances without even noticing it. So if I get tired, like I said, if I get tired, I'm gonna stop. I'll stop. Maybe I'll get a hotel room. Maybe I'll sleep in my car for a few hours to get, you know, because I don't ever, and that's one big rule to me. I don't ever drive if I feel like I'm gonna fall asleep. If I, you know, it's one thing being exhausted and driving, but another thing if you ever feel like your eyes are heavy, or you're getting like hypnotized by the road, that's when you got to call it quits. That's a big important thing to me. It's not, you know, saving a few hours is not worth risking your life or someone else's. But let's go home. Please follow me. Look at that. There's a deer. Hey, deer. Oh, they got away. I thought those were deer. Hopefully they weren't not deer. That's actually a cryptid that I heard of recently, the not deer. It's not a deer. You look, you see a deer, but something's off. Something tells you that it's actually not a deer. Almost like the uncanny valley of deer. Like it looks like a deer. It looks, you know, as the normal things like antlers. Maybe something's off. Maybe it has like an eye on its nose, or something even a little more subtle than that. Maybe the eyes are different, or it's got, you know, extra hooves or something. Something's not quite right. You see a deer and you're like, that's not a deer. So what is the not deer if it's not a deer? No one knows what the not deer is. They just know that you may think you're looking at a deer, but you are not looking at a deer. I've traveled about half a mile so far, so you guys stick with me. Take me home, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. And our journey home has taken us through the mountains of West Virginia. Stopped off in the little town of Grafton, West Virginia here. A little bit of rain. And I've been here at Grafton before. Stopped here at this this church behind me is the Mother's Day Chapel. That's where Mother's Day was founded. But I actually returned to Grafton for another reason. Now, if you've been following this channel, you know the one thing that West Virginia is known for is cryptids, mountain monsters. Of course, the legendary Mothman from West Virginia, probably one of the most famous cryptids. Also the Flatwoods monster there, you can see on my hat. The Flatwoods monster, another mysterious creature from West Virginia. But there's a mysterious West Virginia monster from this town right here, Grafton, West Virginia. There is the Grafton monster, which was spotted here in Grafton in 1964. Someone was driving their car and spotted alongside the road a strange creature with lily white skin, bulging muscles, and oddly no head. There's different interpretations of the headless Grafton monster. You know, some have him no head at all. Some of them have like his face, like on his chest, but he has no neck, no real head. So this big hulking beast, this big hulking white beast with big large hands and no head. And when he told the locals about the Grafton monster, much like Frankenstein, the locals got together baseball bats and weapons and everything they could find. And they said, "Evil dies tonight." And they went off to find the Grafton monster. And these parties of monster hunters actually reported on this outbreak of monster hunting in the local newspapers. The police blamed it on spring fever. I guess people were locked up in their house all winter, and they were excited to get out in the spring and hunt for monsters. And the police later said that they believed the Grafton monster was just a guy with a hand truck carrying a stack of boxes. But I believe in the Grafton monster. And of course, you know, when I learn about cryptids, I want to see what the town has to offer. You know, Point Pleasant, West Virginia, home of the Mothman. They really did a lot with the legend of the Mothman. They built a giant statue in the middle of town. They started throwing the Mothman Festival, which has become this wildly popular event, like the actual like Super Bowl of cryptid fandom. And even the Flatwoods monster, they've recently, in recent years, opened up the Flatwoods Monster Museum, have embraced the monster, have set up the different sites to see from the Flatwoods monster in Flatwoods, West Virginia, in Sutton, West Virginia. But I was curious, what do they have here for the Grafton monster? What can you do? Is there there's not a Grafton monster museum? There's not a Grafton monster festival that you can attend. So I'm here to see what Grafton, West Virginia has to offer as far as the Grafton monster. So we're gonna take a little stroll along Main Street here. There is supposed to be something down the road, just a little bit. We're gonna walk over there. See this very impressive wall dog here. The entire side of the building here covered in old hand-painted advertisements. See, there's an advertisement for mail pouch tobacco there. There is a grocery store. Is that Folly and Swaim Groceries? Wonder if that's still around. Then CA House's Pianos and Organs. Maybe I'll buy a piano while I'm here in Grafton. And what's this? It's got a car parked in front of it. It's P.H. Haynes Company's Natural Leaf. I don't know what kind of leaves they sell. Maybe tea leaves. Maybe tobacco leaves, like the mail pouch tobacco. I don't know. Does anyone know what the P.H. Haynes Company Natural Leaf is? And this alarmed me a little bit just a moment when I looked over here and I thought someone was standing here staring at me, but it is not a creepy person standing on the sidewalk. It is actually a very cheerful scarecrow, probably out here for the Halloween season. Oh, he's got a pocket protector there. He's got a pen there in his pocket, but I will give you your pen back there, Mr. Scarecrow. You know it's a nice town. You know this is small town America here, where you can just leave the Scarecrow here with the pens in his pocket, and you know that no one's gonna come and steal those pens. I think this is maybe an old Masonic lodge there. See the Masonic symbols on that sign. I think that's another Scarecrow up ahead. Let's see. Yeah, just a friendly Scarecrow, not a midnight creeper. Although I don't like how he has no face, but he still has fluffy hair. Here's the Grafton Model Railroad Society. I don't know if we can peek in there. Oh, I was hoping there'd be a bunch of trains in there. Looks like it's completely empty except for that sawhorse. Yeah, looking at some of these shops along here. I don't know what this was. This is closed down. And then we have Freda's variety shop here. Well, what's it say? Come fill your life with stuff. And there's some stuff there in the window. It says stuff that stood the test of time. Things there. Yeah, some little, oh, they sell masks and social distance. Oh, masks and social distance encouraged in the shop there. It's a race car driver's suit in the window. Then we got little curios there, little babies and angels to put on your shelves. All right, and it's down this alleyway that we have something pertaining to the Grafton Monster. It's a little dark back here. I think this is the seating area for the local coffee shop. Let's see what we have here. Oh, there he is. Got a cardboard cutout on the wall for the Grafton Monster. I had a little bit of light there with my phone. There he is. There's the big guy. Kind of looks like a big, muscly marshmallow. And here's the Grafton Monster fact sheet. Said to have white, slick, seal-like skin with no head. Its nickname is the Headless Horror. The Headless Horror there. And here's the story. It says, 1964, local reporter named Robert Cockrell was driving home and he saw a huge white obstruction between the road and the riverbank and a clear-off section of grass on Riverside Drive in Grafton. So he was actually a news reporter. Saw him with his own 2 eyes. So some first-hand reporting. And yeah, he says he was 9 feet tall and 4 feet wide. So this is actually not a life-size cutout of the Grafton Monster, but rather just a smaller proximity. But yeah, I mean, at this point, you know, I think the Grafton Monster is a monster that has only recently re-emerged in the public consciousness. So right now you can come here to get your selfie made with this Grafton Monster. Hopefully, maybe there can be more in the future. Maybe there can be a Grafton Monster festival. Maybe someone will open up one of these old buildings and make a Grafton Monster museum. All right, the rain's starting to pick up a little bit. We need to make our way back to the car. Good night for now. Headless horror that is the Grafton Monster. All right, so we drove about an hour, 45 minutes to Grafton to visit the Grafton Monster cardboard cutout. That only gives us what, like 5.5 more hours until we get home. Not too bad. No, 6.5, I think. It's a panda. That scarecrow's a panda. See Santa coming through the window. Yeah, it seems like Christmas comes early and earlier every year. Halloween and Christmas coming earlier. And you know what? I don't mind. I love Christmas. I love Halloween. And I don't mind spending 6 months out of the year celebrating the two. Also, I think, okay, got another scarecrow here. It looks like his head is a paper lantern. Okay, according to Google Maps, got about 6 hours and 43 minutes till we get home. So that added a little bit of time driving over here to Grafton, but you know what, you gotta stop. You gotta stop and smell the roses when you're on a road trip. And that's part of the trick, you know. People ask how I can drive 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours in a day, and it's all about, you know, pacing yourself, stopping. You stop and do something fun. You stop and see something cool. It's okay if it takes an extra half hour. We should be getting home by, you know, 7 a.m. But it'll work out. I'm still pretty determined. I'm feeling good. I think I'm gonna make it home tonight. But yeah, I'm glad we stopped to see the Grafton cardboard cutout. So after visiting Grafton, West Virginia, and seeing the cardboard cutout of the Grafton monster, I only felt it was appropriate, as we were headed south, about an hour south, to stop here in Sutton, West Virginia. This is the home of the Flatwoods monster. Flatwoods actually the neighboring area that the monster was named after. See the monster right there on my hat, one of my favorite cryptids, one of the most unusual cryptids, and it was 1952 in the surrounding area that they saw a UFO fly through the sky into the woods. They followed the UFO into the woods, and that's when they saw it levitating in the air, this massive creature. They said described its head like an ace of spades, it has metallic claws. A lot of people feel like what they were actually seeing in the monster, my hodag pin's crooked, what they're seeing in the monster is actually a suit, like a space suit, that the actual alien or creature was inside the suit. And they said it levitated, and I guess as its defense mechanism it released a pungent smelling, like a fog that like I think caused memory loss and made people sick as a defense mechanism. So town, it's about 3 in the morning right now. I actually had to stop at a rest area because I realized I needed to edit my video for tomorrow morning. I had to get that ready. So it's about 3 in the morning, walking down the streets here in Sutton, West Virginia. And yeah, the monster, they call the monster, it's either called the Flatwoods monster, named after a little community next door, Flatwoods, or sometimes they originally called it the green monster because it emitted the green glow. And sometimes they call it Braxy because this is Braxton County, and so the monster takes up the name from the county. And yeah, 3 in the morning here in Sutton, West Virginia, eerie quiet. It's kind of a unique, like West Virginia kind of quiet. You can, I don't know how much it's picking up on the camera. You can hear the crickets, the wildlife echoing down the Main Street area. Just a very nice, quiet, nothing sinister, just a kind of an eerie feeling, kind of a foggy night. The rain is gone, it's cleared up, kind of like a mist, a foggy mist hanging in the air. And just take in that quietness that is Sutton, West Virginia. And of course I'd love, you know, if the Flatwood monster would come levitating down the center of Main Street. Probably not going to happen, but yeah, I love the legends of the monsters out here in these small towns in West Virginia. Got the wall dog here as well. It says, dress better, pay less. See, you still have the street there, still paved with brick. Got City Hall here in the center of town. Got their pumpkins out. And this giant daisy here. No, that's not a daisy. It's a sunflower, I think. Little crow there in his hand. Just like Grafton had the scarecrows along Main Street. So we have some scarecrows here Oh, that scarecrow there, that's a little different. I guess that's a scarecrow with curlers in her hair. Oh, here's a twist on things. Normally you see the scarecrow with crows actually sitting on it because they're not actually afraid of it. Here we have a crow that has tiny scarecrows on its shoulder. I love it. It's a total reversal. What's this scarecrow? Okay, this is a scaredy cat. Because you see this scarecrow here has a cat tail. There's a cow scarecrow. You can see by its udders. Its udders there. Yeah, not a human person in sight at 3 in the morning here in Sutton, West Virginia. Plenty of scarecrows. What's this scarecrow here? He's got, his name is Earl. Oh, he works for, it's a City National Bank. I guess this is the bank. Scarecrow Earl. He's got money in his hat. He's got money in his pockets. He's got money coming out of, got everything coming out of his pants. Got a bag full of money. That's a scarecrow banker for you. There is I believe that was what you'd call a cupcake angel scarecrow. She's got the cupcakes right there. Oh, what's this one? Oh, is that Cruella de Vil as a scarecrow with her 101 Dalmatian pumpkins? Oh no, she's gonna skin these pumpkins to make herself a coat. I see up here on the right we have another cryptid, because over here they have the West Virginia Bigfoot Museum. See Sasquatch there. Now obviously they're not open at 3 in the morning, but I did stop by Bigfoot Museum last time I was here. It's a lot of fun. You know, we talk about the West Virginia cryptids, but you know, Bigfoot's everywhere. He's kind of an everywhere cryptid. He lives almost anywhere in the United States. Yeah, the Mountain Laurel Country Store there, just kind of connected to the West Virginia Bigfoot Museum. Oh, who's this guy here? In the window here we have possibly the most interesting scarecrow of them all. Some spooky skeletons and ghosts up there in the window. And some sculptures down here. This woman on the street playing the violin. Some interesting sculptures here in the window. It almost gave me a heart attack as I was walking along the street here, and I saw these two these two jesters staring at me from out the window. Some antlers in the window there. And then here on Main Street in Flatwoods, you have the Flatwoods Monster Museum. Of course, the downside of visiting places at 3 in the morning is that they're not open. But you can see the Flatwoods Monster suit there in the window. That's really cool. Yeah, I have been in here. Both these museums, I've been in the Bigfoot Museum and this one. You can look in the back there and see some more Flatwoods Monster suits. You got some shirts as well, and some merchandise. There's another Flatwoods Monster replica. And a t-shirt. It says Braxy and Bigfoot, where the Flatwoods Monster and Bigfoot are Beavis and Butthead. Flatwoods Monster made of, looks like gardening tools. And then they do have a Flatwoods Monster Festival. It says September 14th. So it's like a week. It's like a week before Mothman Festival. So you can maybe come out and have a week of cryptids here in West Virginia. As I mentioned, I did have to stop and edit my video. I had to edit the video of a 100-acre manor to make sure that goes out tomorrow morning. I have it uploading in the car. I do have Wi-Fi in my car, so I could upload that as I drive, but I'd have to pull over at a rest area to get out my laptop and to get it edited, and that ended up taking like, I don't know, like 2 hours. So projected time, Google Maps says it's gonna be about 5.5 hours to home, getting home about 9:30. So that stinks. I don't know. I'm still gonna try. At this point, it's past the point of no return to get a hotel room, so it's like 4 in the morning now. So getting a hotel room doesn't make sense, because if I rented a hotel room now, I would only have it for like 6 or 7 hours. That's not even enough time to get 8 hours of sleep. So hotel room's not worth my money now. So either I'm gonna have to get home, or I'm gonna have to sleep in the car. And I don't like to sleep in the car because it's just hard to get comfortable. Plus, I can't really use my my CPAP machine in the car, so that's makes sleeping a little less comfortable. But I guess we're gonna get in the car and keep heading south towards home. I guess we exit West Virginia through this big tunnel here. Big tunnel through the mountain. This is a long tunnel. Left West Virginia and heading into regular Virginia. Stopped here briefly at the Virginia Welcome Center. Of course, we all know that Virginia is for lovers. I always thought it was kind of an unusual state motto, Virginia is for lovers. But apparently it all dates back to, like, there was a television commercial that used the motto, and they were like, Virginia's for lovers of hiking, Virginia's for lovers of fishing, Virginia's for lovers of eating, and Virginia's for lovers of sports, or what, you know, things you do. Virginia's for lovers of ham, you know, things they do in Virginia, and it just got shortened to Virginia is for lovers. A place, you know, place where you go to do things that you love to do. Not necessarily a place to run off to with your significant other to have adult encounters. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. Woohoo! They say the highway is for lovers, but he ain't no friend of mine. Every time I find my heart, I lose it to that long yellow line, to that long yellow line. I don't know how to feel about this rising sun, but that fog over the mountains, it's awfully pretty. State down as we head into Tennessee. The Tennessee Welcome Center here, and all the rest stops in Tennessee are built to look like little cabins, which, you know, it's very very quaint. And it is daytime. It is daytime now, and that's kind of how things work, you know. When you're traveling a long distance, you always in your head, you're like, okay, it's 8 hours away. I'll be there in 8 hours, but you know, you stop, you go to the bathroom, you get something to eat, you stop at a rest stop, you go visit a small mountain town in West Virginia to look for cryptids. You know, these things add up over time, and you always end up spending, you know, way more time goofing around on the road instead of driving. It's just kind of how things are. I always figure you always got to add like 2 or 3 hours onto your arrival time. If you're like doing like a full day of driving, you're doing 8 hours of driving or something, I usually like tack on like 3 or 4 hours just to, like, you know, just for nonsense. If I'm filming something, that's a whole nother ballpark. You know, you always want to give yourself, you know, if you're gonna stop to film a video, maybe add another 2, 3, 4 hours on for that. You know, it's time management on the road. It's difficult. It's difficult, especially when you're traveling long distances. But at least we've made it to another state, and only one more state before we get home. So yeah, let's keep rolling. Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. Did he really kill a bear when he was only 3? Because that just seems impossible. He doesn't seem like he would have any sort of musculature to be able to fight a bear. Definitely shouldn't be operating a firearm when he's only 3 years old. I feel like this song may have some inaccuracies to it. And there we have it, crossing our final state line for the day / evening / morning. The good news is that I made it home. It is 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock a.m. I left Pittsburgh at 9 p.m. last night. So that's what? 15 hours? Now I know I took a few detours, took a few stops. I never took a nap. I don't think I took a nap. I stopped for food. I stopped, had a snack. I stopped and edited that video. That added probably about 3 hours on right there. So yeah, feels like I crossed over into some sort of temporal vortex. But the important thing is that I am home, and I am home, and I'm glad. I'm glad I didn't stay in a hotel room. I'm glad I'm home. Otherwise, I would have just be getting up and have this journey still ahead of me. I'm glad. I'm super glad that I went ahead and made the way. I'm very tired. I wasn't feeling tired, like I couldn't drive, but I was feeling a little silly. So I'm glad to be here, and I'm gonna go get some sleep. Oh yeah, don't forget, if you're watching this on Halloween 2023, I will be live streaming tonight at 7 p.m. We going trick-or-treating. I got my trick-or-treat bucket ready right here, and we'll be hitting the streets, and I'd like to take you guys along with me. It's been too long since I've done a live stream, so I'd like to take you guys with me. So I'm gonna go upstairs to my bed and go to sleep. Until next time, this one's in the bag.